Let's do a Reinhardt one. I'm feeling a Reinhardt one, chat. I feel like Reinhardt is just like a good character to coach right now. Amon Bull, I'm pretty sure you're here. The rest of the way, I have lots of problems I'm trying to fix. Sounds good. So 2,300, I think I just lost. So what up, Amon? Set it up. 2,300 Reinhardt on Rialto. Good Rhine map. Love to see it. Love to see it. Yeah, your name is Bull. See if you're a real bull. You did it, Dad. Yeah, I'm proud of you. I've hit plat 4 times, but keep dropping to 2,300. Been playing for just over a year. Started in bronze. Well, congrats on climbing out of bronze, Bull. And tell you what I can here. So right off the bat, let's look for a fire strike on spawn door. So fire strike on spawn door. Some people like being weird and throwing it from here. Blah blah blah. I don't think it's really worth doing this one right here all the time. I don't bother with it. I like to just like not have to worry about rotating from there to main. Blah blah blah. I'm lazy. Okay, I just see it from here. I usually wait for like 3 seconds after the round starts. I usually like to throw it to the left side because people usually like coming out right side because it's tighter angle and that doesn't peek more of the map and it's safer. And also people tend to like their right side more than their left side. So just like human nature, understanding that pretty much always fire strike your left side, their right at the start. Best feedback I get is I wear shield. Okay, you do fire strike that side. Weirdly enough, everyone went left side in this game, but they had a diva anyway, so it didn't matter. Well, we'll see your shield management. So usually you don't fight on this corner right off the bat, right? So we're gonna take our fight actually back over here. So
Overwatch.
You don't really have to like play here right now. We can just back up to that corner right away if you wanted to. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, Onryo, thank you for the prime for 8 months. So far, I'm just seeing a lot of like. Okay. I always tell people if they're close enough for you to start walking on them to swing, at that point, just walk on them and don't use your shield. Okay. If you're full HP, think of your shield is like a thing that you use secondarily when you're able to fight. Like you use it as like a buffer to get healed up. Okay. So the fact that you're starting the fight off, like once the fight's already kind of taking place, like everyone's fighting, they're close to you, I just start swinging. Because then if you don't waste your shield here, you have enough shield that you can back up from this corner. If you end up not wanting to play here and then play further back. Right off the bat, I'd say I would just have backed up off the bat, like I said. And then when they get to this corner, like your goal is to not use a lot of shield before they get to your corner. So then you have the shield for the actual brawl. And right now we kind of have that mentality of using shield first. And then you'll probably be scared because you have no shield and then you're too scared to go in. So when they're close to you, always DPS first while you have health. And then shield. So now we're down 2. So let's get to corner. Then let's recharge shield. So your shield's completely broken. We don't want to play off this corner because they can peek and just bully us because we have no shield. A lot of people head back to this corner for the time being while we have no shield. Once we get our shield up, then we will push onto this corner again. But since we're technically down 2, a lot of people will say we don't even hold this corner anymore because we're down 2. We just try to path out. So we can path like this, recharge shield, or technically pin out. I'd say if you pin out, that might kill your Sigma. So a lot of people would rather just try to back up. Is the screen zoomed in? No, the screen is not zoomed in. That might be on your own. And if you're on mobile, you might have like tapped your screen and it might have zoomed in. So yeah, if you really want to like get a zoom in on my pores, there's other ways to do that. So no shield. A lot of people, we're down 2. You're forcing to fight down 2. And you have the mindset of usually, like we talked about, you're always shielding before you swing. Like you want to swing then shield. Like you have it backwards. Like your tempo, okay? Usually off spawn, a lot of people say don't walk back as Reinhardt. Like you can take this fight way quicker by just turning the corner. And while you're mid jump to turn this corner, you can pin, and then you pin, you land here, then Then a lot of people say just wait and for them to come onto your corner, and then you can test cart last second. Or you can push up, then hold this as your corner right here. That's totally okay. I prefer the left side though, because it's harder for them to flank me on left side through here than it is for them to take an off angle here. So you take less pressure on the side, and then you can also kite to mega if someone else is touching at some point, if you're not getting enough heals. I'd also say I wouldn't play Reinhardt with your comp in the first place. Why would I not play Reinhardt with your comp in the first place? You have Lucio, Mercy. I typically say if you don't have an Ana, a Baptiste, or a Moira, Reinhardt's not fun to play. You become more of a shield bot than anything. If you're going to be a shield bot, it's better to just like play a different character. Like play Roadhog, play Orisa. Like Orisa's not great here either, but it's better than Reinhardt. Hog and Ball would be like the characters most people would pick if they had a Sigma and a Lucio Mercy here. So yeah. Orisa jail. Yep. Sig is good still. Yeah, Sig doesn't require a lot of pocketing, like how a Reinhardt needs a pocket. So it's totally okay to play Sig with Lucio Mercy. Lucio Mercy is just never really a good comp, honestly, though, but you're going to get it a lot of the time on ladder because a lot of people one-trick Mercy and a lot of people one-trick Lucio. And that's just kind of how the game goes, so you just need to learn how to play around it. And you can play around it. It's totally fine. It's not ideal, but it's doable, you know? Looks like Ryan is almost always a bad choice in low SR, like bronze or silver or even gold. Not necessarily. The biggest issue in lower ranks on Reinhardt is a lot of people think that their tank and their main job is to absorb damage and not to deal damage. And once you get in the mindset that like any character you play, you want to deal damage, the game gets a lot easier. All right. Think of it this way. The sooner you take damage, the sooner your supports can start healing you, right? And so then you get in the cycle quicker of you doing damage and them healing damage. So it helps you both build your ults quicker. And this game is a lot about ults, honestly. And then you have like the advantage if their team isn't doing that right off the bat. Makes sense. Just in general, like how tempo kind of goes, because they can heal up that damage that happens to you. They can't heal your shield damage. Just flank and then charge somebody in their team. Don't do what I did in my unranked GM Reinhardt. That's like 3 years old at this point. The entire first game I think of that series is me flanking on Reinhardt, pinning them from behind, because people don't know how to like respond to it. Like, I was just kind of showing how like stupid the game is, and yeah, I wasn't trying to be super educational, but I just like, you can pretty much just do anything as long as you are like, you commit to it. Like the biggest thing is knowing, yeah, you have to make a commitment, like flank pin or swing out front line aggressively. Like we're scared. Like as soon as you get less scared, the game's sometimes easier. Like now we're down 2. Now we have to be scared. We don't have our Mercy. We don't have Lucio heals. Play slow. We need new unranked on Ryan. Educational and correct. I know. I've thought about it, but Ryan just sucks to play right now. I have an idea for my next 3. I have 3 planned currently. I'll probably do the first one in like 2 weeks from now. And then I'll probably do one like every like other week or so for a while. I'll do a week of grinding my main, then like a week of unranked GMs, and then like a week of grinding my main, and kind of rotate like that probably. Unranked GM Mercy only. If we had a certain sub goal and people really wanted that, I would consider it. Yo, I love you too, bro. Thank you for the follow. Because the Mercy one, that would be more like torture, and like, you know, you got to pay me to torture me, okay? Remember when you tried to do unranked GM Mercy only? Remember how I went like 5-0 in my placements and I placed 2200? And then every time I won a game, I got 2 SR. And every time I lost 100 because my account was bugged by being GM on tank and DPS already. So if I did a real series where I didn't have that bug, I could probably do it pretty, like not super fast, but not like super slow either. I think I could get some masters on Mercy in the first day of the stream, 100% if I tried it. Remember, dude, I feel like none of you were around back when I made this promise forever ago. I had made a promise at one point that if we hit 2,000 subs on Twitch, I'd do a Mercy unranked to GM while wearing a Mercy cosplay. And we hit 2,000 subs literally that stream. After I said that, I got like 800 subs in that one stream. And then I messaged the people that gifted subs to get it to 2,000. And then I was like, because I was looking for a Mercy cosplay and the only one I could find would take like 2 months to get there. And I'm like, hey, it won't come for 2 months. Do you guys want me to do it? They're like, nah, don't even bother. Because it was also like $500 or some bullshit. Like the only one that would like fit me actually. And they're like, nah, don't waste your money on that. Don't do it. Some like shit like that. So we ended up not doing it. So yeah. And they're all like, we were just subbing to support you. We don't actually care about the thing. And I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, that's what went down. Yeah, it was on the full sky match. Yep. Who's the carry now in gold? Depends on what role. Like any character can be a carry though if you're good at them. Think of it that way. Like, this entire time I just see that you're down your Mercy and then you're not giving up space. Like you have to be comfortable giving up space. Like that's the biggest thing I've seen out of you, Bull. Like you don't actually give up space and wait to get healed. You like decide to hold your ground until you die. Like don't die. Like simple as that. Don't die, forehead. If you feel like you're about to die, get the fuck out. Simple as that. Easiest tank, Roadhog. The next tank unranked I'll probably do is Roadhog. Figured it would be good for me.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Hoping the tail end of the dragon does not damage. It does. All of the parts of the dragon does damage. Bull. But in general, you didn't back up right after your Mercy died, and that's the issue. Paradise playstyle has changed a bit though. I've been playing current Hog though too. I've been playing it on my main. I've also been playing on an alt account practicing it. Like when I know I'm about to do a series, I pretty much only play that character before I do it to get myself like in the right mindset and like the right play style. I'd say Hog, it depends on what you're against. I'd say in lower ranks though, it's still better to flank 24/7 like how you used to play Hog. But in higher ranks, you have to play a little bit more safer off your Orisa and your Sig and stuff like that at times, due to people understand how to play on it and sleeping you and punishing you for flanks. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of like doing that and a lot more turn hooks involved. Like back in the day, like season 18, you didn't really turn hook on Hog as much. You also didn't have to hop after you hooked people on Ball and Sigma. That wasn't like really a huge deal because people didn't really play those characters. So yeah. And it's technically Sigma wasn't out till season 18 or whatever. Like, yeah, so before Sigma was a thing, like obviously the game changed a bit. How do you get a VOD review? Join the Discord. Go to the VOD reviews channel. What up, bro? Well, a lot of people say just Doom and Hog are like funner characters to play, and people are just like playing for fun now. Ooh, yeah. I should block and hook. Okay. What I always tell people after they hit a shatter, after you shatter, you have time for 2 actions, okay? An action would be swinging, a fire strike, or a pin. So you can do a fire strike or a swing and then pin, or you can do 2 swings, or you can do a fire strike and a swing, or you can do a swing and then a fire strike, okay? As soon as you know that, it's a lot easier to decide what you want to do. And then if you're going to fire strike, crouch, and it makes it easier to hit multiple people. So after you hit this, what would I do here? I would throw a fire strike towards the squishies. I say Mercy over BAP because BAP are used in Mortality Field. Mercy still has res, so Mercy's higher value in my book. Mercy's a higher value. And then the Hog's not in Immortality Field, so I can pin the Hog after, and I can kill Hog. and I want to take him for a short pin. So I want to go for an angle like this onto the pin. So while I'm throwing the fire strike, I am positioning myself for this. To pin him into this, so then I don't go too deep and kill myself by pinning into their backline. And then we swing. We don't even connect our swing because we panic and we're full HP. So you're too much of a shield bot. You need to be a lot more aggressive here after hitting a big slam like that. And yeah, like you're literally like letting the game come to you instead. Like, what's the fucking saying? Like you're not, I don't know, whatever. You need to like actually like try to play the game. Simple as that. You need to try to get kills more often. You're just like hoping your teammates will kill them and like hoping that your shield will like carry you. And like I'm telling you right now, you actually have to kill people to rank up. You can't rely on your teammates to kill people. Yeah, but there's like a saying that I used to say and like people say in general. I just can't think of it. In between fights, you usually want to grab high ground. So after we won this fight, a lot of people would have kited like this, went up here, held shield here. Then we can get picks while they cross the bridge, potentially with our McCree, stuff like that. And then once they are underneath us, then we can kind of like, you can take a fight on this corner. A lot of people say just take the fight on this corner. So a lot of people would just play upper and then just drop on them when they're kind of around this area. And yeah, just be proactive. Yeah, true. Yeah, that's not this. Like there's an actual saying. It's not just a word. Like, yeah, I might have said be proactive instead of reactive. That might be it. Like you want to set the tempo of the game. You don't want to let the enemy team set the tempo. It's easier to play the game when you are the one setting the tempo because you know how like the game is going to go with your tempo. If you like just try to react to things, like you have no idea what the enemy team is going to do all the time. You want them not to respond to what you're doing instead of responding to what they're doing. So take the initiative. Boom. Easy game. Yeah, I don't know why we're so like, I don't know why you think that's like your choke. Not really like the choke that people usually play. It's kind of weird, but it's working so far. Yeah. Okay, we just walked into like 4 people and then we decided to hit the pinky. I don't really know what's going on there. As soon as you turn this corner and you see multiple people, I would hold my shield and I'd back my fucking pretty ass up, okay? That's all I gotta say about it. Like your reaction when you see a lot of people should be back up. Not hit the pin key. Like a lot of runs panic when they get weak and hit pin key. Like you can survive if you just jump backwards and put up your shield. Too much proactive? In general, why would this be bad in general? Think about it. There's people to the right. We don't want to put our back to people. We want everyone in front of us. If we can't have that, the person that we're putting our back to, I hope it's a Mercy or something that you're not worried about, or like a Lucio. But if you're putting your back to a Hog, I feel like you're just asking to die in the first place, right? And then once you see 2 DPS, yeah, you're going to get blown up. Like the first decision putting your back to like the Roadhog is a bad idea though. If they're like split like that and you put yourself in the middle, you're going to get collapsed on. Everyone's going to come on you. You're going to die. You never want to put your back to people in this game pretty much. Like you want the entire fight to be in front of you always. It's like the easiest way to put like positioning on Reinhardt. Like Domino's, I don't know why you saying Domino's making me really hungry for Domino's like pizza. But I feel like any food sounds good to me because the only thing I've ate for the past 3 days has been ramen. So I'm just like really craving like some fucking like greasy food, you know? Oh, I haven't ate all day yet today. I've been up for like 7 hours and I haven't had any food. Yeah, you put in regular VOD reviews channel, Caleb. Just had pizza. Well, good for you. What type of pizza did you have? Shatter that. It was a good shatter initially. Like if you did it right now, because you shattered the Hog, you shattered the Diva, blah blah blah. You're also like using the cart for cover, so you don't take a lot of damage as you shatter, by the way. Look at your health when you decide to finally shatter. You basically hit that shatter when you're at like 200 HP in a way. Like it was good because you had health initially. Like shattering when you're low is not bad. So like when you're approaching this to shatter after you were swinging that hog, a lot of people would use their shield first, stabilized, then shattered. All right, well, sleep well, Shaman. Thank you for coming by. And then after you hit your shatter, if you knew you were weak, probably want to shield after to help you stabilize then because you were one shot. When you say to be more proactive, should be pushing up to new corners or pushing into their team and retreating. I want to see you push off your corner and swing at them when they're trying to take your corner from you instead of just letting them have the corner. I want you to initially fight for the corner that they are trying to take when you're on defense. And then when you're on attack, get up to their corner and then fight for the corner that they are holding. And then shield after you get weak. Kebab meat and sweet corn. Sounds good. We have this pizza place nearby that serves their pizza like gaucho style. Like walk around to your table offering you pizza and stuff. And I really want to go there now. They got some interesting pizza. Pretty gas. Like I never thought I had like pizza with like honey on it and stuff like that. And like they have like Euro pizzas, shrimp pizza, stuff like that. And it's fucking good. And then they have like this like Mexican like pizza that has like corn on it and some other stuff. It's so good. So good. Being aggro is good, but you have to be aware of your HP. I always tell people the general rule of thumb is whenever you hit 300 HP on Rein, start playing a little bit slower and get like stabilized. Because like around 300, you're missing most of your armor and it's easy to get blown up when you don't have armor on this character. So yeah. Get fire strike, like the idea, because you just DMAC Diva, she's not gonna matrix it. Okay, you're high nooning, so a lot of people say shield bot right now while if you hear your own McCree high nooning for a second. He ends up dying to the echo. Like I try to get as close to my run as my McCree as possible and hold my shield closer to him because it shields more angles then, blah blah blah. Just a little thing to look for. I like, honestly, funny enough, this pin, you go for the safe pin, keeping him on the map. But the thing is, if you pin him, you're not going to kill the echo copy in the first place, right? Then even if you kill the echo copy, then it's normal echo. I literally think pinning them off the map here for the trade, because you waste their ult, and echo ult is one of the better ults in the game, is actually worth it. I would literally pin this person off the map because they will not survive, because when you die as echo copy, like falling off the map, it doesn't turn you into echo, you just die. So pinning off the map, I think, would have actually technically been better in this situation. If like the enemy Ryan's nanoed and I was in this boat, I'd pin the enemy Ryan off the map. Like if I'm denying an ult and getting a trade, I think the pin off the map is worth it. If that's the only way I'll kill them. So you technically can get back from spawn pretty quick on this map because you have pin right when you get out of your spawn, and it gets you like most of the way. So yeah, you're like, you have to be aware if you're getting Winston bubble, you don't want to like push in the Winston bubble if you're already weak. And like you were just being aggressive while you're Winston bubbled, your supports can heal you. Because usually your supports are going to be playing a little bit further back than you. They couldn't heal you. That's why you die here. I always tell people when they get Winston bubble, just like play slow and try to break the bubble before you make a push. I like that you clear the window. Now swing out the BAP. Like as soon as you got into swing range of the BAP, I would start swinging. I know you're probably worried about like the people behind you, you know, getting past the window possibly. I'm telling you, most people are going to be scared of the window and not try to pass it. Like, look, your team didn't try pushing forward, okay? It doesn't really help just sitting there. As soon as you're in swing range, just swing at people. Think of your shield as just for yourself most of the time. I promise it's like weird advice, but it helps a lot. People don't trust shields a lot anyway, like quite often. And if you start swinging at people, they're going to shoot at you instead of your teammates anyway, because you're being aggro and they want to shut you down. But pushing past the window, as long as you swung at like, this is terrible. Why is this bad? Your entire team's already dead, including your supports. So unless you're shouting everyone and you think you'll kill everyone that you shatter, it's a pretty bad shatter. So you'd want to back up before you shatter here. So it's easier. Like, you guys won the fight, but I don't think you won the fight because you're shatter technically. I know it's last fight, but a lot of people say you're down supports. It's easier to find a bigger shatter and play safer to give time for your supports to get back if you just initially back. So it seems like you don't really know when your supports are dead, like, in all honesty. So I feel like you need to just look at the kill feed a little bit more. Like, I know it works out, but I'm telling you, that could be the difference maker in other games. Knowing that your supports are dead, you need to path back, because at times you've lost a lot of fights because you don't path back when your supports are dead.
Round 1 complete.
All right, you're having trouble reading the kill feed. Okay, do this really quick. See me? Stick out your hand. Try to touch your monitor from where you're sitting. If you're touching your monitor, you're probably too close. If you stick out your hand and try to touch your monitor, if you can touch your monitor screen, you're probably too close to your monitor. Being closer to your monitor is good in games that are like CSGO, like tactical shooters, and Overwatch. Is actually, you want to be a little bit further away from your monitor technically. It's easier to read your kill feed then. So yeah, might need a bigger desk. Usually a bigger desk doesn't make your desk like deeper technically. A thing that helps a lot of people get like proper like monitor distance from them is they get a monitor mount, and then they put their monitor on a vase monitor mount instead of having it on the traditional like stand that it came with.
Switching sides.
Floor gang? Oh no. Then obviously like your eye level like technically should be like your eye should be level with the 2/3 part of your monitor, so slightly above the middle of your monitor is where your eyes should be. Like when you're just looking straight ahead, that's where your eyes should be resting. So I feel like a lot of people sometimes have their monitors too high and they're like kind of like their eyes are at the bottom and then they're having to look up, or they're too high and then they're forced looking down, and that's bad for your neck, and that's harder to see the top right of your monitor too.
Once the mission starts, no more.
So that's all like ergonomics shit that is useful technically for seeing your kill feed. I just make it a habit whenever I'm holding my shield, I look at the kill feed while I'm looking at my health. I kind of look at my health and I look at the kill feed. Becomes kind of a habit over time. My monitor's too high. At the end of the day, I always tell people just do what is comfortable for you, but those are like general guidelines. Why are you worried about the flank? You're main tank. Hold main. Hold shield. You can't swing on them. They're above you, so you need to shield your team in here technically. Okay, you force fortify. That's good enough value. You wait up fortify. You make your hard push now. They don't have lamp. They don't have fortify. Now you play fast. Okay, you have no shield. So like you're deciding that you can't make the push when you have no shield. You need to decide that you can't make this push when you have half your shield. When you're missing half a resource, you usually need to work on getting that resource up. I don't make this push period if I don't have more than half shield initially. Once I hit half shield, I know I need a backup if we're already not winning the fight. You don't currently have an advantage, like you don't have any picks, right? I'm not trying to push with 100 shield. So yeah, you do use a lot of shield too early, and then when you're getting low on shield, you aren't retreating early enough. That is probably the biggest thing with your gameplay. And then knowing when your supports are dead and giving up space. Those are the biggest things that will help you rank up quick, in my opinion. Yeah, I always tell people when they're playing, just like be like up 1, down 2. Like every time something happens to the kill feed, say it out loud. Then when you feel like a fight has like reset, where people have respawn, just like restart your counter. Okay, we're going for the flank. Okay, you start shielding initially. Like you're so scared of like, you're shielding initially because I think you're scared of hook, but they're not going to throw a hook if you're just hard shielding the entire time. So you need to like drop your shield for a second, swing once, and then shield again, and then you baited hook, and then you be aggressive. Like you try to like be aggressive so they use their cooldowns, then you block them, and then you go in. You don't just hard hold shield initially. Take them off the map. Yes, we like it. Now you have a free shatter when you get back, because they can't res that because it's off the map. So speed back, look for shatter early, force it. W key, W key, W key, W key. Shield hop. Don't shield bot, by the way. You move faster if you shield hop. Shatter that, shatter that, shatter that, shatter that. They were in front of the Orisa shield. That's so far back. It was a free slam, buddy. Not taking the initiative, dude. Okay, the shield's here. Can you flank technically left and then just shatter? Like this? Boom. Money. Go be smart. Okay, you don't have a lot of shield. Okay, our monkey jumped in, so let's walk past the Orisa shield. Shatter. Yeah, that shield was technically like there for a while, so they placed a new one at this point. Like you wait until they throw their a fresh shield so they can't place another one and cuck you like this, and yeah, that's exactly what happened. So oh well. And then we pinned into their backline. So if you pin into their backline, you're gonna kill yourself. You have to go for a pin that doesn't put you in the enemy team's backline, because now you see how out of position you are compared to the rest of your team. They will collapse on you. You will die every single time. Man, I love low elo Overwatch. Honestly, only legs. Can you even play Reinhardt yourself? I've only seen you on legs and Widowmaker. And your Widowmaker wasn't a pretty sight, buddy. I'll tell you that much.
They're still fighting me yet.
To be fair, you were doing a 24-hour stream when you were playing Widow, but yeah. Boostio, nice. You're so scared. Why are we scared? Okay, playing slow. We get healed up. Aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. We have more than 300 health. Aggressive, aggressive. But you're always thinking so defensively, man. Gotta change the mindset. Gotta change the mindset.
This is not over.
Play some nasty Widow the other day. All right, my bad. I didn't catch that one. Okay, walk on one that's close to you. It's Orisa. Walk on Orisa. Force fortify. Yeah, get healed up. Okay, you have like no shield. So when you're getting close to no shield, right? So when did we have like no shield? That's what I want you to look at right now. At this point, you're half HP, half shield. You can't make a push. Okay. So this is where a lot of people would just kind of try to put themselves on a corner, recharge shield. Where's the nearest corner to you technically? Here, but that's kind of like an awkward corner. You can technically use this as a corner as long as you crouch. It's just kind of chill there. So yeah, but a lot of people would say, did we waste shield before we got in? Not really, but the thing that I see that you do is you don't use your body enough while you're rotating in. Like you need to shield hop more and not just hard hold shield. You move slower first off, then you don't use your body to help build support ult and waste less of your shield as you rotate in, and that makes you brawling 10 times harder. And you need to use your shield hop attack a lot more to get in and out of fights. Yeah, for sure, only legs. I'll say that you're trying to use them as a corner. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, you tried using it as a corner there, but you never dropped your shield to recharge your shield. So it doesn't do anything. Now you push past the ones that you can use as a corner and you're still weak and you can't push past the Orisa shield and you're past it right now. That's why you're not getting healed. Then you finally get not behind it, so then you start getting healed. So now we need to get to a pillar. So we need to back up that entire time, but we're still holding our ground and not backing up. Like you can't use these as a corner because you're up top above them, right? You have to be on the lower part to use these. You can't use it like this, otherwise you'll be sitting there with your pants down in front of multiple people and then they're going to make fun of you for having a small cock. So you know, like that's kind of how the game goes. So yeah, yo Sylvia, thank you for gifting a sub to Only Legs. I appreciate it. All right, uncalled for right now, my bad. Boom. Yeah, G5 of... Oh, wait. What am I saying? What's about thank you? I don't know why my brain... I don't know. Never mind. Because that's like... I don't know. Alright, we have shot. Like, we're so close to the shot the entire time. Just swing once, build it, use it on everyone. They don't have shield currently. We pin away. The shield breaks. Okay, we have free shatter now. Free shatter. Yeah, cool. You have a squishy next to you. If there's a squishy next to you, always focus the squishy after you shatter, okay? I thank people for saying hello to me. Sometimes brain wonky. Yeah. Like, kill the person close to you first. Or using a W key. But all those targets to swing on, all of them have a lot of HP, and the person next to you has very little HP. They have less than 150. Unless you shower them for 50 damage. So it takes 2 swings to kill them, period. Maybe anti, so it's 1 swing technically. Or a fire strike. If you fire strike where you were to hit all 3 targets, then walk forward to swing. Perfect. Typically after shatter, you go for fire strike first. Okay. You're gonna get booped down into them. I'm calling it right now. I see it coming with how you're holding shield with the fair behind you. Never mind, the fair just barrages you from behind. Honestly, not really on you. I'm not tripping over it. The thing I say about playing up top, by the way, is if you notice no one's really playing up there with you, like your DPS aren't playing with you, there's no real reason to hold this. This is like good if your team is with you, but keep in mind your Ana usually has to push cart in the first place, so I usually take upper like this when their team's playing upper to force them out. If they're not taking upper, which they usually won't in lower ranks, don't even bother pathing like that. Like, you do that to force out flankers and people that use that. They don't really have flankers and hit skin that are going to play there. Not a huge deal if you rotate them out. Alright. They bond good. A lot of people say kite. Don't even fight this if they bond good. Just wait out the ult. The entire time you're walking more into them, asking for healing as you walk more into them. It doesn't make sense. If you need healing, back that fucking ass up. You don't play to live. It's simple like that. Like, you don't value your own life. Like, if you're weak, you need to give up space. You never give up space. Can't even meme about this one. It's just simply like we don't back up. Yeah, what up, top hat landing?
Is to move the payload. Get to it.
60 seconds.
Group up here. Get behind.
I like this to shatter, honestly. Fuck it. Nice. Nice. We're carrying. Nice, bull. You got 4. All right, now path for the mega because you don't have your other healer here. Like, you're so obsessed with staying on cart. There's 20 seconds left in the round. We're up 4. Our Ana's dead. Our Ana's not here yet. How do we play to live? We go towards the health pack. Our Lucio isn't going to top us off. Get the health pack and we win. That's all you have to do. You just made a play, but you have to think about how to live after. Is there a mega near you? Can I pass to the mega? That's self-preservation, not fucking kicking in here. Like, the fact that you're walking into them trying to swing at 66 HP, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it looks so good, and then you did that. And so I do free ball reviews. I also do paid coaching. My paid coaching is currently 50% off for the people that want to have a full hour and be in a Discord call and like talk and like, you know, blah blah blah. Exclamation mark coaching if you want the link for that. If you want free coaching, I do free coaching. Just follow the stream and you'll get alerts and whatnot of when I do this. Okay. So yeah. All right. So you are the Reinhardts. I'm assuming your name is Bull.
Another one.
Your name is Amon Bull, so I'm assuming so. You know, like. All right, let's see it.
Another one.
Yeah, thank you for the ball whisker, multi. You're kind of whiffing fire strikes. Funny enough, like he was the Reinhardt main that needs to work on his aim, unironically. So this is a low diamond Reinhardt. Okay, so kind of the same go that we're just kind of looking at for open queue. So basically, we're playing Reinhardt into dive, right? So the main way that this ends up working is playing like kind of like the cloudy kind of style Reinhardt that you kind of just like pin off cooldown the backline, or you can't like play it appeal with your pin off cooldown. Whenever their Winston jumps in, you pin after him, Doomfist punches in, blah blah, you can turn around pin for it. Or you can just do the same thing to their backline and just create a lot of space because a lot of people, and just hold shield and try to play your life once things get a little hairy, okay? That's pretty much how you force Reinhardt into these things. If I could pick anything and you were just at the will of me picking your character into their comp though. D.Va is stupidly strong into this backline. D.Va is really good into all three of these supports. Not technically great into Sombra, but not really a problem if you understand how to mark a Sombra out of hacking you and understand that the Sombra is playing to kill you potentially. They don't always go for you, so it's not always a problem. They might get too distracted by your wrecking ball, other stuff. So thing I like the most in this comp, D.Va. Thing I like the second most in this comp, Junker Queen. Thing I like the third most in this comp, Roadhog. A lot of shotgun characters get into this. So yeah, they don't have an Ana, so a lot of those things don't get punished. And even if they did, you have a Kiriko. So yeah. Reinhardt isn't really like the only person that's like super high playing Reinhardt right now in open queue is Derby. So yeah, this is fine. This is a good pin. And then you understand to hold your shield, but the thing is you don't want to hold your shield like that. So your pin is good if you don't cancel it. Like you're thinking you cancel it, right? And then you're like swinging at this blah blah, but you're putting yourself in the middle of the team if that makes sense. Like you don't want to like hard isolate yourself, if that makes sense. So as soon as you miss this pin, this is where you need to be shielding. Does that make sense? Like as soon as the pin's cancel, you get punched, you're weak, you're shielding like this, facing everything and backing, and then playing to live for your next pin a lot of the time to then get out and maybe get one, or for your next engagement. You are playing to back up and hold shield while you're getting swarmed. When a lot of the time when you're getting swarmed like this, right? You have to shield hop to safety. You need the extra movement speed. But you're that low. Like as soon as you get Suzied, shield hopping is now viable, right? Extra movement speed that we're missing. Extra movement speed. You see like how we're just not going to get anywhere, and you're just sitting there requiring a lot of resources and just like giving a whole lot of nothing then, because they're just collapsing on you from you overextending. The pin, like I don't have a problem with the pin, like from the get-go. So I think I'd throw this fire strike before that pin though. Not really needed, because you're also on no fire strikes, right? And after you go for this, like you're probably going to swing on something like twice or something, and then they're going to like, Sun's going to kick you away, they're going to speed something away. You need the fire strike to finish. So like you don't want to dump all your fire strikes when you are planning to hard engage. Like you can use one just to kind of get it going on like cooldown and like build your ult a little bit faster, but the second one, like that's your backup, you know, in case you need it to like secure a kill. So I didn't really like you throwing the second one. The pin, like, if you didn't throw that second one, it lines up more with the pile drive timing. Outside that, usually extending with pin like this, good when people are more split, right? When they're really grouped, this gets you killed. If they are more grouped, flanking pin better to abduct someone. If more split, you play Reinhardt like this. But since not split, makes it not too good. And then you need a shield hop to help yourself stabilize and get to a safer spot and not be stuck in the middle after the bin. And that's all the things I can tell you on the first fight. Let's get to the next fight. So we get back, let's look at the fire strikes again. Because I feel like that'll be a common occurrence that you kind of just lob both of them downtown right off the rip. Okay, throw it out of invisible sombra pretty much twice. Cool. It's little things that you don't think about. People like pressing their buttons, right? So all these things do end up adding it. Boom, boom. And for people that don't know, I'm top 500 on all 3 rolls. And I'm top 500. I'm top 500 open queue, so I'm top 500 in all 4 fucking game modes ago. And I've hit rank 1 before, so. Back in Overwatch 1 though, not in Overwatch 2 to be fair. Back in 66. Okay, let's talk about it. Like, this is a good counterpin. So the thing about like counterpinning, right, with like a Doomfist, it really depends on like if he's extended into your team. Like, let's say he was like trying to punch to get out from your backline, great counterpin, right? And frontline, it's kind of a neutral thing. It depends on like who has like a better comp to follow up on a counterpin. They have better follow up technically with having a Zen, and they have like a Sombra to like chain like stun you out of it. So technically this counterpin at a high level will favor them typically, but I know you're just trying to hit a pin. You're not really actually trying to force a counterpin essentially, so don't worry about it. Giving you a little thing to think about. So we're running out Discord. So I'm a little surprised that you didn't use pin to just close the gap instead of just like walking that whole time out the Zenyatta, but you do you, bro. Like then you're like trying to like do like, I'm not sure if you're trying to bait a punch and force a counterpin, because like a counterpin right now would actually kill you because you're missing your armor and you're weak, and there's 2 people that are going to follow up on it with you being discorded. Like, it's a lot of damage, so that would actually kill you here if he actually went for the counterpin. So I don't really know why we're trying to bait it. And then if you were just like thinking you might pin backline and then go swing and whatnot, it's like you are missing your armor, which is like the important part of your health on Reinhardt. Like, armor health is way more valuable than regular health, so usually your HP thresholds for making super aggressive plays, if you already aren't engaged in the aggressive play, is do you have all your armor or not, pretty much, or most of it. So yeah, all right. So basically what I'm saying is we're kind of hanging out in the open right bowl. You're getting Discord, and you're just getting punch botted by a Doomfist the whole time. So you are getting bullied by Discord Orb. You gotta play a little bit more around it, right? It's a little broken, obviously. It doesn't really have a cooldown in 6v6. I'm sure you kind of felt that one by now a little bit. So, guess what? Flanking Reinhardt's better than the frontline Reinhardt into when. So, because like from your point of view, right? What's giving you the most problem? It's technically like the Doomfist is a problem to you, but it's mostly the fact that you're Discord the whole time and have a Zenyatta just railing you. It's like, how do you deal with the problem? Get in the backline for the Zenyatta. Because guess what? You have a Ball, you have a Lucio, you have a Sombra. Your whole comp is centered around actually playing very fast into the backline. And like, sadly, like Torb is good into die, but what's the trade-off of Torb technically into Doom? His turret, if the Doom understands, you know, the matchup, he gets free Empower Punch off cooldown from Torb turret quite often. So, small little trade-off. Alright, so respawn. You can pretty much like it's the pen on, by the way. Get around the corner, so yeah. Teams are dead, don't drop, just play to live right now. Not worth it. Don't stagger. Need to hit my stuff. A lot of it is you probably you pass pretty like linearly. Like think of it this way, like if you have Ryan Zarya, you can play a little bit more like linearly. Same thing with like a little bit with like Ren Diva, but when you get these like goober comps that you're like, you'll have a Roadhog or you'll have like a Ball or whatnot, like you have to play a little bit more independently, that you are not expecting a lot of resources for you to open it up. You have to get a little bit more creative. And I'm sure you know what I mean by being creative by now. Still going? Yeah, we're not 24 hours yet. You knew we're doing a 24-hour stream, so like, what do you mean? Like, no, it was an hour and a half. I'm 15 minutes away from 24 hours, technically. But we'll probably go a bit over, so. I'll probably finish the VODs that people want to do right now, and then we'll call it a night. Just because I haven't done VODs in a minute, right? Yeah.
Robots ours.
Boom, boom, boom.
Let's kick this off.
Free VOD reviews. Did some coaching with Vizzy, like paid coaching before this though. For 2 hours. And then before that we queued a lot of Overwatch. So obviously don't get punched out of Shatter. Something to think about early on. Like, okay, Demo, then went backline using best shielding backline. Yeah, like everything's looking chill. I just been after Demir. Yep, cool. I'm glad that you're just focused. You're playing front to back there and like the cleanup, and that's the best thing to do. Like, don't hyperextend for that. Everyone's gonna be distracted by whatever's closest. Kill whatever's closest, and then work your way back. Perfect. So. If you want to get a little bit more creative,
Spawn activated.
you know how you have Shatter, and like, yeah, you can just play those in one condition. You can kind of just play in here right now and just kind of force them out. Just think of it this way: they're playing dive, right? We talked about like, what does dive want to do? They want to go like this, drop on backline, so they don't have to use cooldowns to get on your backline, right? And because the card's here, when we walk up, right, and we're holding here, then they're gonna want to come from here. They're not gonna come from here for the most part. Makes sense? And then if we tunnel, then they're funneled in a small room, easy for you to hit your Shatter. So it's like a whole like thing of it. It makes it harder for them to get where they want to go, and it also sets you up for what you want to do, and then also technically what your Torb wants to do with the cummies. You feel me? So little small like thing. Once your team kind of gets a little bit more momentum here, like you're kind of cleaning up staggers still, and then we're Juno ulting, so like you don't really get that time to go set up there, honestly. So like kind of like this Juno is really early that they just kind of kite, to be honest. Like it's kind of bad, but kind of be expected. Like people are gonna have battles. That's the way of the road. Remember how I talked about like a technical like counter pin is like bad for you? It's actually better for you to just take the punch when you're like on top of all 6 players like that. For that exact reason, you get Discord, you get blown up. You don't have the luxury. Blah blah blah. The one time I like this counter pin is when he's in my back line trying to get out. So it's always nice when I explain a concept and that it's like bad for you, and then watching it happen later, and you're like, ah, he knew this was gonna happen. Aw, he knows what he's talking about. Wow. Like, yeah. I've only been playing this game for fucking 9 years. At the top, like a high level the whole fucking time. I hope I fucking know the game by now.
They stole the robot from us.
Hey, if I say right now, you just kind of cut it. Like, yeah, you're not gonna turn this. Oh wait, by the way, I didn't realize you even burned Shatter there, by the way. Hey man, I completely missed that in that whole thing. I just saw the counter pin. Like you counter pin, and then like counter pin, you always take a big amount of burst, and then you're locking yourself into animation that you can't right after you take burst damage. Anyway, yeah, that's a fucking that's a move. Yeah, you walk back, and staggered. Okay, now we're walking with rush. I'm not really too stressed on this. I will tell you, like, my decision making is a little bit different here.
Let the kids
So I think of it this way, that we're rushing, right? They're expecting people to play in this rush. And guess what they're going to do then? If the bot's here, then they're going to usually, typically on paper, kite a bit, right? They're going to go like this. They're going to get really tunneled on this and the people coming up from there. So me personally on Reinhardt, I come in like this from my off angle with a pin, and I get my pick, and then I try to live with my shield, stabilize, and then take the fight from there. And that's kind of how I view it. Instead of like, you think, oh, playing the rush, like I think of this as like, this created this space that now zones them in a different direction. And so this is like, no one's going to be in it for me to do anything. And personally, I'm trying to kill things myself instead of sit there, be a nice little shield bot, and hope my teammates kill stuff for me. And yeah, since they're cooling too, it's like, that's another reason that like a lot of people try to cancel that cool with pin in the first place. They end up EMPing you, and you're just ever extending into their ults with, you know, like, and swinging that air. It's like, it's either you play slow and shield bot, like for your team, like on that corner in the rush or whatever, or you go for that like pin play. There's like no swinging that air and, you know, whatnot, and wasting a lot of resources. Not really it. Would have been nice to have Shadow there. It would have been pretty good to have Shadow there. Yeah, that is true. High chance that I gets EMP'd, but while you're in the middle of it, potentially, with how that fight played out, but would have been nice to have Shadow, yeah. I wonder why we don't have it. Alright, you're respecting them a lot more than you really should. There we go. I will say I usually switch my charge as and like do the like animation cancel to jump for like movement to like first like rush out on them a bit faster, but overall this is the picture perfect play though. You see what I mean, that you kind of played more of an off angle and then you pin him from the flank after. That is basically what I've been asking for, as you can see. So it's like when you do the thing that we're talking about, the fight goes well. And you know I haven't seen this lot, obviously. Do the math. And it's like, you know, we're charging Doom Punch, we're throwing double Fire Strike early on. Like, you're close to Shatter, and that's like the thing that you can do to justify it, that you want to just make sure you build Shatter right now. Usually, I don't double Fire Strike. Blah, blah, blah. I like to save one, you know, blah, blah, blah. For opportunities, if I see some weak or I need it to finish kill. Yeah. Okay, thanks for the fall. So, you're filling right now. You get two.
I'm here.
So the thing that I always tell people for Shatter, you get 2 actions before you need to make your pin. So that can be a swing into a fire. It's usually 2 swings, or a swing into a Fire Strike. Take your pick. Obviously there's ways to like, you know, crouch. You can line up more people in your Fire Strike. So I usually would like try to do a turn swing on that, right? Because you could have swung out both of them, and then you can Fire Strike them both if you think about it, like with the angle, and then you don't even have to walk on the Juno, and then you can immediately pin the tank and you just kill both people. It made it your life 10 times easier than immediately just pinning the one person that you want to make sure you kill. The thing about that is that thing that I just talked about, if they shrink, you're not getting the kill unless you're pinning that squishy, right? And if you give them enough time, that Zen can get in the way, body block, take the pin for the squishy. So it leaves room for different airs, essentially, but I won't really worry about that right now. That's like something I worry about once you're at like already like a GM top 500 player, in my opinion. Like all these like smaller interactions like that. Overall, just know that you can get 2 interactions off before you do your pin if you're doing them immediately after your Shatter. So and that's if your pin is someone that you're going to be picking up close to you. They can't be far away. If they're far away, a lot of the time it will be more like 1 interaction if you're going for a further pin. But that's considered a close pin, that you're getting both interactions off and then on top of the body that you're going to be pinning. So yeah.
Pass into the iris.
You can pin that. How you go about the pin is what matters here, by the way. Your movement. So I'm gonna judge you on that and tell you why this is a bad like way about going about your pin. Okay, so watch carefully with me. Okay, you see Doomfist. Doomfist is now blocking on your immediate left. You are strafing to the right. As soon as you see Doomfist on your left, jump to the left and queue up your pin. Jump into him. You can jump forward and to the left and hug him even harder. Guess what? We aren't queuing the input of left or jump. And we are pinning straight. And then you are going to bonk him with your shoulder and miss. Do the little sidestep jump. Boom. Money on the pin every time, okay? I'm like, we basically kind of angled weirdly after all that. Like, the only thing that like changes that fight for the most part is using your pin correctly. And that would fix all the decision making you would have made in the rest of it, so I'm not even gonna bother about what you did too much there outside of the pin. Just fast forward it, you carried you that fight. Yeah, do this. So like this is the correct thing to do a lot of time where you feel like a counter pin isn't beneficial to you, you just fucking take it, you know. I'm push you away. It is what it is. So yeah, that's a EMP for the ages. All right.
Setting out the welcome mat.
Yep. So you see how you're like making this like kind of like play of like, oh, you're just like pinning back, right? It's like your Torb doesn't have that luxury, right? So it's like, then he's just gonna die. Make sense? So I like to think I go like this, right? Then I go for like if you or you like you come like this, right? And then you kind of wait here, and you know they're gonna chase. Then you go pin, you pin the person off the map, you grab the mega. Then you rotate back into the fight from either way, depending on like the play. Like that's the difference of like making like a more proactive like decision on how to carry instead of just like abandoning ship. So yeah, look, he ends up getting the pick anyway. So like the pin is just like not great anyway, and it's better to have that option. Like if your teammates get a pick in the first place, right, that you are able to then, you know, capitalize on it. So you know, it's like creating those like kind of those like bait like kind of like scenarios that, you know, like, oh, you're weak, they're gonna chase you around this corner, and then you like are ready to pin them. You feel me? Like it's kind of like doing that in like lost fights, like off cooldown, like using the off angle to then charge out. Take someone potentially with you to then flip a fight. Hey, boom. Like this is basically what you're doing in a way. But yeah. He's a second off on punching you out on that, so something to be careful about, because I believe you are charging Doom Punch while you are looking for Shatter. It's like you're kind of asking for him to potentially, like that's a good snipe. Pretty funny that you get it. It's like Doom blocking, like you swing at it twice, it's definitely charged, blah blah blah. Like he's weak, that it's just like you're probably gonna kill him, and he's gonna be scared of like going for this punch in the first play. He'll just blow up. So I wouldn't really expect him to hit it, don't get me wrong. Just something to be careful about in the future. Whatever, don't worry for now. It's the start of the brawl, right? So this is just a kind of given. This will be useful on any character. Like as soon as you approach this Cassidy, it's the very start of the fight. Like this fight got engaged by that Shatter. Everyone's gonna have cooldowns up. Expect the flashbang. I flash shield really quick right when he gets up. Like, if we're in flashbang range, you should be throwing it at us. This quality of life thing makes things flow smoother for everyone. And that's useful on like Reaper and flankers and like people that actually just die from being flashbang there. This is the last fight coming up here. Alright. Engagement has started. And now it's just play to live. Welcome Orbit's pretty useless here. It's 25 seconds so they get another touch. Like on paper, they should. So kind of the battles across the board for everyone going on right now. But you're doing it right now. Like you have the advantage that you just don't really need to do anything extreme and like be super risky with your like trying to make a like high risk high reward like pin, kind of like try to live in their backline play. So I would say, you know, we talked about like you're playing passive, right? Now it's just complimenting you, and then I immediately like retract your compliment. Because like they're tranking now, you're not gonna get anything. Alright. Unless you spend some. Like boom. Boom. Now it's like you ain't getting this. Okay. And then you see the hack, like you can respond to hack and cancel it, but you go for a fire strike while you're getting hacked. It's just like put up shield as you see it. And this gives them room to maybe flip it, but I know they don't based on the pod length. So yeah, it's just one of those things of like as soon as you hear the trank, like you'd assume they're gonna trank and like that Juno's gonna run to it, blah blah blah. You're not gonna get a kill unless you pin the Juno, so go for the pin. If you don't get the pin, just wait out the trank. Play slow, you're winning the fight because you're already up. Just play your number advantage and blah blah blah. And just don't hit your brains out and you win the game. Alright, so anyone else that wants to buy? Because that was over. You're just walking back while you're